Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of The Flank, alright? I'm joined by my friend, my companion, my duo. You guys already know who he is. He's a fucking icon. He's a legend. He's a staple to the scene. You already know. It's Ben Janessine. Ben, introduce yourself, my fucking guy. How you doing, huh? What's going on, Ben?
Great intro, Tom. What are you drinking tonight?
I got some red wine.
Oh,
I don't know.
you're muted in TeamSpeak, by the way.
I'm muted in TeamSpeak. What do you mean I'm muted in TeamSpeak? You gotta be fucking kidding me. Oh, I know what it is. I know what it is. Don't worry, guys. I'm gonna fix it right now. Boom, boom.
Yeah.
How you doing, Ben? Yeah, it's the fucking microphone. I had to switch the microphone. Benny boy, you like the intro?
Yeah, intro was good. Intro was fire. Pre-game was fire. A lot of support in the chat today. I think people are hyped for this little emergency flank show. You and I were talking. We knew some changes were coming down as always. We keep our ears to the ground, hear things to the grapevine. We're like, should we do a show today? Do we wait? And then the news dropped at literally exactly 6 or 7.
Oh, perfect timing, Ben.
Perfect timing. I was about to cook dinner.
Timing.
Gonna make a little bit of sweet and sour chicken tonight, but I did all the prep work. And I stopped to go and hop on and do the show with you, so let's get into it.
Hey, can we get a win in the chat? This guy was going to make some sweet and sour fucking chicken, but instead he said, you know what? Fuck the chicken. I'm going to come on and I'm going to do the flank. So, hey, Ben, I appreciate that, big guy. You're the fucking man. You know that? I'm drinking I'm drinking on some red wine. My mom poured me a glass of wine. I'm back home in Jersey, obviously, visiting the family. I'm very hyped up. I'm at my old setup. I'm just feeling like I'm at home. I just feel the fucking energy, okay?
Yeah.
Listen, man, I'm just ready to get the show on the road. Ben, there's so much shit going on, bro. Listen, I kind of knew it was happening. I just didn't know it was going to happen. Now, I was talking to Crimsix on the phone earlier today. I was talking to him this morning.
Yeah, I saw your tweet about him in traffic.
Tell me, guys, can you guys tell me this? I'm on the phone with Crimsix, and all I hear is beep, 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 beep. Fuck you. Fuck you. I said, Porter, what the fuck are you doing, bro? I said, what the fuck are you doing? I said, calm the fuck down. He said, this fucking guy's doing this. He's fucking not even looking. I said, Porter, what are you gonna fucking do? You know what I'm saying? Relax. Take a fucking chill pill. Smoke a fucking bogue or something. But, Ben, where do we even start today?
Want to start with the Dallas news?
Yeah, we got the Dallas news, and we got the All-Star, we got the groups, right? We got a whole bunch of shit.
Yeah, we talked about All-Star in the last show, but let's talk. We'll do Dallas, we'll do groups, and then I don't know, from there we'll figure it out.
Wait, I got somebody else that wants to join the show, though. He goes by the name of Zinny. Ladies and gentlemen, can we get a Winnie in the chat?
Tommy!
Zinny! Zinny!
Tommy!
Zinny, how you doing? Zinny, you doing good?
I'm good. So, Tommy, you hammered.
I had a couple glasses of wine. No, listen, I'm fucking faded on life right now. You understand, Zin? I'm faded on life. I'm feeling good. I'm home with the fam. I have a glass of wine. I just had some pizza from the local pizza shop down the street here in Jersey.
Okay.
You know the Jersey, New York pizzas.
Oh, Jersey.
It's unfucking matched, Zin.
The Barstool president, Portnoy, he's at the Jersey
Shore right now.
I
saw that. He's at Seaside, right? He's at Seaside? Yeah.
He's traveling. He's eating.
I saw that shit. He's having a good fucking time. Hey, I'm having a blast, man. I'm meeting with some friends during the week too. You know, some high school friends. So that's gonna be a good time. Okay. You guys probably know him. He's at Mito. He's in the chat all the time. Chief Mito. You always see him. I definitely want to go link up with Mito and maybe go to the turf. You know, pass the ball around, have a good fucking time.
Yeah.
But hey, Zin, you see all this shit that's going down? Shit's crazy, bro.
We got Vivid joining Dallas.
Yeah, let's kick off with that one. What do you guys think? I mean, listen, I want to go with Ben first. Because, Ben, I feel like you have a lot to say about this, but I want your initial thoughts on Vivid joining Dallas. It's going to be Crimsix. It's going to be Illy, Vivid, and Shotzi. Obviously, they got rid of Hook. They brought in Fellow for a couple weeks. That didn't last very long. But what do you think, Ben? I want to give me your opinions. What do you think's going on in this fucking camp?
Let me give you the glass half full and glass half empty versions of this, because I think representing because I think representing representing both sides, this is important for context. So glass half full. We saw that Dallas, when they traded Hook away, had really struggled to slay. Love Fellow. He has great comms. I think we can all agree from our experiences with him and just talking to other people that he's a great teammate, but slaying wasn't there on this team. Illy struggled and has been struggling throughout the season. Crim has been really up and down the whole season. Has been great in S&D. Respawn has been a trouble spot for him. So they're going to get more slaying and Reese Vivid. The pace on the team is going to go up a lot. We know that Reese can fly, And we know that Shotzi likes to play fast. So they're a really good sub pair. And if they have great chemistry, they're going to take this team to the next level or back to the level they want to be, which is contending for chips. The glass half empty version is that they basically just swapped Hook for Vivid. And the jury's going to be out on whether that was a good move or not. We know what Hook is as a known quality as a world champ, multi-FPS champion. And Reese is good. He's been playing good for the last 16 or 18 months. But is he of the level of Hook? I don't know. And on top of that, you have two other players in the team that we just mentioned, Illy and Krim. Slang hasn't been there this season. So a lot of questions on Dallas. They've got an interesting Group B. Zin and Tom, I'm curious what your thoughts are.
Zin, I'll let you kick it off, but
Jesus.
Grimothy, I appreciate the big 50. Maron, you're a fucking animal, you know that? So let's get some Rimothys in the chat, but Zinny, break it down. Ben, first of all, I thought you broke that down really well. I agree with everything you said, Benny boy. So you're a fucking man.
I think...
But Zin, you go.
I think he was one of two best options.
Yeah.
Honestly, I was expecting TJ to get the offer first. Maybe, I mean, I'm not sure if he did, but looking at it, I see Shotzi as this aggressive, annoying player who's going to be the first one in and going to finesse your shit and going to take out one or two. I thought TJ could help their search a lot, and I just think TJ is one of like the top players that sort of flies under the radar because he didn't perform too hot and like recently, but like in 8s he started grinding. He's been frying. Vivid, I think, like I said, was a top 2 option. I think it could help Shotzi a lot, and it might help Shotzi look even more like a superstar. Like, Shotzi's going in first and finding 1 or 2 already. Now you have Reese, who is arguably faster than Shotzi, going in first, so he's going to find 1 or 2, and then Shotzi comes in second. I feel it could only make Shotzi's job easier. You put Illy back to the AR, where they found success. They play second and third, which obviously they want to win, but second and third are good good placing, so... I think he's definitely looked stronger on the AR compared to the sub.
Yeah, agree with that.
Not by a huge margin, but I definitely think he was a little more consistent as an AR. And then, like, I mean, I agree with Krim, right? He's been up and down. Good at search, respawn, not so much. But granted, it's not easy to play well for any player when the team isn't performing well, right? Like, if you're constantly spawning out and you don't have spawns, like, there's only so much you can do. So, like I said, I think he was one of 2 top options, and they got him. So I think it's a good move. Will be better than Hook. I mean, we'll find out.
I agree. I agree with both of you guys. I think you both hit it on the nose. I think for the main thing for me is fuck the roster change. They got to start performing better. You have Crimsix, who's been underperforming. You have Illy, who's been underperforming. These guys need to start picking up the fucking pace. Let's be honest here. Pick up the fucking pace. Start performing better. Start showing what you're capable of doing, because these are big name fucking players. They're world fucking champions. They got to start picking up the fucking pace. It doesn't matter who the fuck they get. They could get fucking God himself and put him on the fucking team. Shotzi needs help, and they all need to start fucking performing. So it comes down to that. I think Vivid is a great player. I think he's smart. I think he's talented. I think he's a good kid. He's a grinder. He's got a good head on his shoulders. I think that's the main thing. Picking up a guy who's going to come into the team and ready to work. That's what it's all about. Get him in the team. Get him ready to work. Get these guys on the same page. And let's see the Dallas that we're ready to see, right? We know what Dallas is capable of doing. So at this point, let's see if they can put it together and do what they got to do. I mean, I'm super excited for this. Because I just think Vivid is a great player. And I've been wanting to see Vivid get on a team for a while now. I don't know what the fuck took so long. But big shout out to Reese, and I am going to try and get him on the show. But he is in a little bit of a mixy situation right now. I don't even know if he's home. But if we could get him on the show, I'll get him on the show just to get his thoughts. But I think at the end of the day, I think Dallas at least are trying to make moves, and they're trying to be better. Listen, I see a lot of people talking about Krim and stuff like that. I would love to get Krim on the show as well. I could reach out to him as we talk, as Ben and Zinni talk, and see if he wants to come on.
He's probably at the gun range, let's be honest here.
This guy's fucking letting off his
steam. I think the whole team, he tweeted, was all playing League Play. So I think all of Dallas Empire right now are running League Play together.
Well, don't play League Play. You're probably going to get shit on. I mean, that's... But, you don't want to run into that. When you're playing fucking League Play, I'll tell you that.
Can we talk... Go ahead, Jen.
Just one last thing. To touch on Reese for a second, he has a great work ethic. Like, even when he was competing as a starter,
he does.
To even now when he was benched, he was in 8s every single night, right? Like, always one of the first people on the list. Also, really good at search and destroy. Like a top search and destroy player in the game.
And he helped LAG get really good at S&D last year when he joined.
But listen,
big step up in that game.
I have full faith in Shotzi and Vivid, but we need to see Krim and Indra start matching the likes of like the top teams, right? Because right now, if you were to compare Krim and Illy as an AR duo, the teams like Ultra with Cammy and Insight, the teams like FaZe with Cell and Arstudes, it's clear cut. Like, it's not even a discussion right now. and we need to see that change.
I agree.
Zen, I don't know if you know this, but their record this year against Toronto and FaZe is abysmal. So they have I think they're 14-11 in series results, and 6 of those losses are to Toronto and FaZe. You want to know what the combined map count is in those series?
What?
Let me do the math real quick. It's 20-4. It's 4-20.
Okay.
Yeesh.
It's not ideal.
So we have seen that there's now starting to develop a clear tier of teams. Dallas actually, if you look at their head-to-head record, it's pretty decent against the mid-tier to low-tier of the league. They're going to Game 5, a bunch of these teams. They're grinding out series, but they're getting dubs. Where they're getting into troubles against the top teams, and they're going to need a step. I agree. They're going to need a step up in talent from criminally to get there. I want to also spend some time talking about LAG because I'm a little confused from the LAG side about this business and the fact that they haven't made a change. They're one of those teams that's sitting really on that 8th, 9th bubble right now. We'll get into Group B situation in a minute, but I'm a little surprised that we haven't seen any further changes from LAG considering how disappointing they were in Stage 3.
Yeah, they were disappointing. I mean, their roster's just weird to me on paper, but it did seem like they were getting a little bit of a rhythm. They're getting a little bit into a groove, but it's one of those things where is this team playing for top 6 or are they playing for first place? I think that's where, these questions start coming up, right, Ben? So it's one of those things, you got a lot of talented players. We'll see if they end up changing, but for the most part, I feel like they're not changing. I feel like that camp has been very quiet.
Yeah.
Very quiet. I don't really know what's going on in the LAG camp, but for the most part, I feel like those guys are very content with the team. Ben, is that you coming in with a 3-bomb, or is that somebody else?
Yeah, it's me. I'm saving the train. Stay on topic.
Oh, thank you, Ben.
Yeah.
So I think LAG, I think they're in a good spot. Honestly, I feel like they're into the not to me they're in a good spot, but
Good
to them.
spot.
Not to me.
Okay.
Not to me. I'm saying for them, I feel like that they think that they're they're good to go. They got the team that they want. They're feeling good. They're feeling confident. I don't know what it is with that team.
They won 7 series this year. How do you feel good?
I don't know. Every time I
year?
fucking see these guys talking, they think it looks like they're the best. I don't know. You see Silly talking about it and stuff, and all the time. Listen, I would love to get some of these guys on the show and see where their heads at. But for the main part, Ben, let me ask you a question. Do you see them changing? Because I do not. Even though
I don't, and it blows my mind.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say.
Can I go off on LG for a second?
Go off, Ben.
It's a weird situation to me because you look at the stats, you look at their form, and you look at their map records, and it would indicate to you that they should really shuffle up this team. China's come in and provided a spark, but it didn't provide real W's. The only game mode they are good at is S&D, and they're close to 500. They are one of the worst hardpoint teams in the league. And if you take out raid control, they are legitimately the worst control team in the league. So you factor in those two things aside, and it's weird to me that they're not looking to try and shuffle things up and try and push higher in the standings to make it to champs. I get their mindset that they have a lot of veteran leadership on their team, players that have won on boots and won champs on boots. But if you don't qualify for champs, all that work's going to be for naught. So I don't quite understand them getting rid of Reese Vivid here. If they're now going to want to make a further change, their flexibility in the player pool, because we've discussed the rumor roster changes in Paris and Seattle and the changes that London made, there's not a lot of room here for LAG to pick up folks. Yeah, so I'm a little confused.
Ben, I agree with you. The weirdest thing to me is Vivid was their guy. He was their gold mine. He was their superstar. He was their franchise. Now he's on Dallas. Does it make any sense? No. And I don't understand how shit like that happens. Do they lose faith in him? Did they just not care about his opinions anymore? It's just very weird to me that they just lost total relationships with one of their superstar players. And they just let him go. Just like that. Bada bing, bada boom, he's gone. And that's the one thing for me. It's like, why? Why are some of these teams, if anything, why didn't you build the team around Vivid? Why didn't you keep Vivid? Why don't you make changes around him and do what your superstar player wanted to do? So it's just very confusing to me, honestly. But, Zinni, I want to get your opinion. What do you think is going on with this LAG team and why they're not changing?
I don't think this team can win. I think they can, cause some waves and disrupt something, but, part of me respects it and part of me doesn't understand it. Because it's the coaches obviously have a deep belief in that team to turn it around. But in my mind, with this trade of Vivid, they don't plan on making a change for the rest of the year. And if they do, here's what I think is going to happen. Either they're going to make champs or they don't. Most likely they don't. And that's when you'll see a lot of their academy players start playing so they can market them and attempt to maybe sell them for next year or see what they have. I don't think they're going to go outside, right? We saw it with Chino. Sheen is obviously good. I don't think Sheen was the best possible replacement out of all the free agents.
Yeah.
But they decided to go to their academy team, which, in a sense, I do kind of respect, right? Like, they're trying to build something in-house, and they're giving a player already signed their shot. And Sheen has been great, but my point is there were other players who were performing better that a lot of people would say probably should have got that spot. So now it's like you're in a bad spot. I think they're fighting against Florida to make champs. And
And they're in
basically,
the same group too, by the way. And
if
we'll
you're
talk about that.
if you're Florida, like, I find it very hard to believe they're going to fall off to the point where it's going to be possible for LAG to make it. Like, I feel like LAG has to get some top placements or even win, and I don't see that happening right now.
I agree, Zen.
I agree.
Tom, can you go ahead and pull up? Let's pull up the standings while we talk about this, and then we'll talk about the groups. I'm gonna link it to you right now.
Yeah, link it over.
So the situation for LAG right now is Minnesota sitting in 7th and 130 points. Florida sitting in 8th with 120 points, and LAG is 9th on 90. So 30 points separate them and Florida, and 40 against them and Minnesota. Minnesota's in the other group, and Florida's in their group, which I thought was an interesting development because now that match between LAG and Florida is essentially a 20-point swing. If LAG don't win that match, that's 10 points in Florida's bag, and that's another 40 points that LAG are going to have to try to make up on Florida to try and qualify for the 8th spot for champs. So I think they're – if I were looking at this top 8 right now, I think as a betting man, I'd probably say this top 8 is going to stick. The order, obviously, TBD. LAG is going to really need a solid top 4 placing at the next major or major 5. They may need to place top 3 at that to really have an opportunity to get 8th here.
I agree. I think it's going to stick. I think the top 8 is going to stay the same, but I could see some noise being made. It just depends on how. Listen, I can see LAG just squeezing out some wins somehow, just because we know how COD can be. But for the most part, I agree with you, Ben. I think that the top 8 is going to stay the same. I think those are going to be the top 8 teams. I think the standings are going to stay the same for the most part. I don't really know. But that's not the other team. LAG is not the only team. There's other changes going down. We have Paris Legion. We have Seattle Surge, right? You have Classic now making his way to Seattle. You have Zaptius making his way to Paris. What do you think about this? Because I personally think Classic is a good fit for Seattle. Honestly, I want to see how it'll do. I don't know if it's going to... Listen, for the most part, I feel like these two teams are at the bottom of the barrel. I feel like they're making changes and stuff, but it's kind of too late. It's kind of too late.
It is too late.
Well Tom,
it's
go ahead and pull up the groups because we'll combo with this discussion. Because we talked a little bit about this Seattle-Paris thing on the last show. And interestingly enough, both teams are playing each other in the same group in Group A, which is comedy.
Yeah.
I was talking to Seattle guys before the show, and they actually feel pretty good about where they're. I don't want to say too much, but they feel good about their situation that they're in currently. Don't want to tip too much going on there, but from my POV, if they're the one team that's picking up Classic, I said on the last show like it made a lot of sense to me because Nick's the kind of guy that's going to play by the book COD. He's not going to bait his teammates. He's going to play and fill lanes, and that was an issue that they had with Desi. And a little bit of a issue they had with Dan. Dan was sometimes a little bit indecisive with his decision-making. So if they can kind of play in system, is Seattle got enough skill to be like a top 4 team consistently? I don't think so. But if they can get their ceiling up to top 8 and then just like get a really crazy high placing in one of these majors, make a run, maybe get top 4, they jump a lot of teams in those standings. It's really close at the bottom right now. And they put themselves going to major 5 in no position. It's like, okay, well, we just got top 4. Let's do it again. And suddenly now we're in champs. And then for Paris, we talked about in the last show, I'm a little confused with the change from my POV.
You see Temp in the chat? Do you see him in the chat?
Yeah, I see Don.
He said that they need one good tournament.
Yes, that's not too late. And I disagree. I disagree.
You disagree, Zen? Why?
I mean, he's right. They need one good tournament, but they also need Florida to have a horrible tournament.
Yeah.
And they need to have not a good tournament, a great tournament. They have to go and potentially win or play second, which, like, do we think that bringing... Who's it rumored to be?
What do you mean?
Zaptius, right? The rumor
yeah,
is
Zaptius.
Zaptius.
That's the rumor. Zaptius, yep.
Do we think Zaptius is about to come in and make Paris a winning team? I don't think so.
Saying.
I don't see it. I would still say Florida is the stronger team. I think it's really good for Nick because I think first off that Paris team wasn't working and neither was Seattle.
I got Temp right here, by the way.
What, in the call?
Yep, right here. Yep. How you doing, Don? Welcome to the flank, emergency flank.
Hello.
What's
I
going
come
on, Don?
I come in peace, but I gotta dispute some
No, you're
points.
good. You're
That's
good.
all.
let's
Just
come
let
and speak
Denny,
your mind,
let Denny
speak
keep
your
going.
mind.
Listen,
and
all,
we'll-
all I'm saying is
Okay,
it's
go
not
ahead.
too late. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
That's the
no,
only point.
hold on,
You could say that, oh, we might not be better. That's a different conversation, no. But it's not too late. That just doesn't even make sense.
Well, it's never too late.
So
But
that's what I'm saying. So we're just spewing shit. We're just saying shit.
But the thing is, to me, I think it's too late for you guys. That's my personal opinion. I don't think
we just need one good tournament.
Prove me wrong. Prove me
No,
wrong.
no. I'm saying, but it's like it's not nothing to prove though.
No,
Like,
it's not. It's
No,
not
no,
impossible, but
I'm
it's unlikely.
saying no. I'm
Oh,
saying
yeah, I
that's
mean,
what I'm
of
saying.
course,
Yeah, right there.
of
It's
course.
unlikely. It's
Of
I
course.
personally think that the changes that are being
Oh, okay.
made.
Well, that's better wording. Of course. It's
I
unlikely.
could have elaborated. You're right, Don. You know what?
That's all I'm saying. That's
Don,
all
I
I'm
could have
saying.
said that better, Don.
That's all I'm saying.
I want
That's all I'm saying.
to run with this for a second, Don. So, you guys, and obviously you.
Oh,
were
no,
on the team.
wait. Well, before you go, my
Yeah.
bad, man. I'm kind of being a little aggressive. You were saying some BS the other day. I ain't gonna lie about the first blood
Ow!
shit and all
Yeah.
that shit. But continue on. Go.
Okay. Oh, in regards to Nick or regards to you?
In regards to our team, you said Nick and he gets all the first blood he play. I was getting bloods, all that shit. You had the wrong stats, man. You're pulling up stage one stats.
I don't think that's what I was talking about. But
You're talking about that. 100%.
In regards to your
but
team,
continue on.
Donnie, and I know some of these matches were prior to you joining. So,
Okay.
looking at your team right now, you guys have 5 wins and 3 of those are against Florida. So you have 2 wins against the other teams in the league. So, what is your mindset going into this major, understanding that the team, and obviously a lot of the bulk of that performance was when you weren't on the team, like that you guys have to kind of get into better form and try and go 3-2 in this group, which is going to end up being a tough one with the teams in Group A to try and get into the winner's bracket and get yourself in a good position.
Hey, what is my mindset going forward? I mean, we need one good tournament. That's my mindset. Like we just need one good tournament, bro. It's not hard to get a random top. Like, there's been so many tournaments in COD
It's
history
pretty hard,
where
Don.
Bro, Tom, think about all the random people that have gotten top 4, bro. It's not that.
No, I understand that, but I mean, it's not gonna be easy. You know.
I'm
what
not
saying.
saying I agreed with you already. It's unlikely. I'm not saying it's gonna be easy. If it was easy, everyone would get top 4. It's not, obviously. What I'm saying is we have a chance if we work hard.
Of course, you have a chance. I mean, everybody has a chance.
That's all I was saying. That's the only thing I was
agree
disputing.
The only thing I was saying, Don.
If there was a place to bet to where if Paris makes champs, the bet, I mean, it would be plus fucking whatever. The odds would be insane for us to make champs 100%. I'm not disagreeing with that.
Okay.
My point is just the other shit. The other shit you guys are saying is just not. It just doesn't make sense. That's my opinion.
To follow up, Don, what is your thought on the group that you guys have with FaZe, Optic Chicago, Thieves, Minnesota, and Seattle?
Minnesota, I think Minnesota, Seattle, Thieves, Chicago, even FaZe, we played well in scrims. I mean, I think our biggest problem is playing how we play in scrims in a match. I feel like, Tom, we had that same problem when we picked up Mac a little bit, and then we finally got over it.
Yeah.
I feel like on this team it's like the same thing, but it's like drastic. Like, it's very drastic. I don't know what it is, but I feel like our match days, like our teamwork is just off. Everything was just off, and if we play how we do in scrims, we'll have a good chance versus any team.
Especially single out of lamps. Let me say, if you're Donnie or if you're on a team that's trying to make champs and you're just admitting that you're probably not going to make champs or it's impossible, that makes you a fucking loser. So there is nothing wrong with Donnie being on here.
I didn't say nothing wrong.
Confident. I mean, no, like the fact that you admit it's unlikely, that's what it is, but it's still possible. But it's
listen. Don't listen to the chat because they're gonna be toxic. You know, these fucking guys, they're all over the fucking place.
Yeah, they're all over the place.
They're fucking nuts. At the end of the day, Don, I agree with you. There's still a chance. And hey, listen, you know you're my guy, Don, right?
I know. You're just keeping it real. That's your opinion.
Bro, I want to see you guys fucking do what you do and fucking play swell. I'll be going fucking nuts if you guys play swell and you get into the top 8. I'll love that for you and everybody at Paris.
Of course.
It's gonna be hard. I just think it's gonna be really difficult. You guys gotta make sure that these next few weeks, you guys are on your fucking A game.
Oh yeah,
bro.
and I feel like
game.
The one thing that's good for us, obviously, the rumor, whatever, is that our first match is gonna be our hardest match. So it's like that's good. You know what I'm saying? Like versus FaZe, like win or lose, like that's a series where like, all right, if we win it, Jesus Christ, like wow, we won the fucking match, right?
Yeah.
And if we lose it, it's like, oh yeah, we just got a match under our belt, we got some experience, and we lost to the best team in the world. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we're going into it with it's just a win-win. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Don,
but the way our schedule is, it's like pretty good in that like sort of way.
Yeah.
To take your thought a little bit further, you were talking about earlier about the difference between scrims and matches, and sort of that's where you think a lot of the fault lines are coming. What are you guys like changing up going into this stage compared to what you were doing when you first joined the team?
Well, obviously, even like when we had Nick, like a lot of the problems that we had, obviously, we still have that. Like, we gotta call out what the fuck we're watching. We give up stuff. We don't say a word. It's just a lot of like little teamwork and communication errors to where when stuff gets hectic and frantic, like the good teams don't even let it get to that, but they don't mess that up. We will consistently like make mistakes when it gets hectic and frantic and intense. So basically, just staying calm, staying composed, and just doing what we do because we know the right play. You know what I'm saying? We know what to do. We know how to play the game. It's just not letting the pressure, not folding under pressure. That's all it is.
I like that. Stay focused,
Practice,
man.
stay focused. That's all it is.
Stay focused. Do what you gotta do. Somebody in the chat says Zoomaa being buddy with his friends again. First of all, go fuck yourself. Fuck you. Second off, I'm not being buddy. I give my honest opinions. I personally think it's gonna be very hard for Paris.
It is. I agree.
Yeah, and it's hard for me to say that to Donnie because he is a good friend of, a good friend of mine. At the end of the day, do I think it's impossible? Fuck no. You're never out till it's over. You know what I'm saying, Don? At the end of the day, you guys could do it. I would have liked to see some changes being made a little bit early just because you're making your window smaller. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just making...
100%.
And it's like now you guys are in that spot now where it's fucking game time. You know? Like, it's like...
It's do or die.
It's do or die.
Yeah, 100%.
It's do or die, and honestly, I'm excited because you guys are making a change. You might have a little honeymoon period going into this. So, yeah, can you guys do it? I see a lot of people saying it's chalked. It's not chalked. Like, it's still possible. It's just going to be very difficult.
And listen, we got do or die moments on local.
True.
On local.
Very true. Hey,
regardless, bro. That's what I'm saying. Regardless of making champs or not, I'm going into these lands like they're lands. Like I don't give a damn. You know what I'm saying? Like if I can have a great land, like I'll just take that, regardless of what the fuck happens after that. You know what I'm saying? Like we're just locked in on bro. We have a fucking land. We haven't went to a real land since BO4 champs. The MW shit don't count.
It's actually crazy to think about.
We went to a real land since August, bro, of 2019, bro.
Guys, I'm getting a poke. Somebody wants to come in. He goes by the name of Silly from the Los Angeles Guerrillas. Let's see what Silly has to say. Justin, what's going on, Justin?
What's up?
What's up,
Jesus
Silly?
Christ.
What's up?
That's a lack of energy from Fargo. So Fargo came into chat. First, wait, I think Don was speaking, and then Silly joined, and Tom was like, Silly, what's going on? So, Don, anything?
No, I wasn't saying
No,
that.
we were going in circles.
What's up?
Don, for the most part, we were going in circles right there.
No, we're talking in circles.
Yeah,
we're good. You're good.
We're talking
You're
in circles.
good, T.
First of all, Zinni, go fuck yourself, Zin. Fuck
Wait,
you.
no, wait, I was going to let Don finish.
Fuck you.
Oh, fuck you. Go fuck yourself.
Fuck you.
Anyways, we got Fargo in the chat. What he said was he heard that they were being slandered, so that's why he joined the call.
Yeah, so which I only heard a piece of it. I honestly got summoned on here because I heard we were getting slandered, but
I don't slandered. I don't think.
Get
not really.
From what I watch, it seems like you guys are just like kind of like completely count us out. Like we're just getting fucking railed by everybody in our matches. Like every single game we played with Sheen, we lost 3 game 5s and we lost to Optic in an extremely close series. It's not like we're have any uncompetitive matches whatsoever. And it seems like we're already just like completely counted out. Like it's just fucking kind of AIDS, you know?
I think the issue from the POV, I'll give my POV, Justin, is that you guys have won 7 games this year. So from your opinion, looking at that number, and I know you guys have had some good wins. You beat Thieves a couple of times. You guys had that great win against FaZe. And obviously at the Season 1 Major, you guys did a really good job against Thieves in that winner's bracket to then lose to FaZe and get it still a good placing in that event. So like understanding that you guys right now are kind of sitting right at the cut line, like what's your approach going into Stage 4 and then Stage 5?
I mean, realistically, we're just trying to clean things up with Sheen. Like, obviously, our S&D wasn't as on point as it normally is. I definitely think our respawn's gotten a lot better. I'm sure our hardpoint record reflects that at least. Our control definitely feels better. We're not completely limited to playing raid over and over again anymore. And I feel like if our S&D was at what it was in either of the other stages, we could have potentially went 3-2 or 4-1 in our group this last stage.
Right. So, yeah, Justin, listen, I agree with you on like you could have, would have, a lot of like we could have, right? It just comes to a point now where you guys got to execute now. Now you guys
Yeah.
gotta, right? And
I
you know
agree.
that, like, you guys gotta start closing out series, and that's the only reason why sometimes Ben might have select words to say, because at the end of the day, you guys have 7 wins on the board, and that's what the problem is. And we're gonna speak the truth, right? We're not just gonna talk positive about everybody that comes on, right? So at the end of the day, listen. I like where you guys are at as a team, kinda. Like, I don't like the record. Obviously, you guys only won seven games, but you guys have been showing a little bit of improvement. Like you said, a lot of the matches you guys have played have been close, especially against some top teams. But for the most part, what are you guys looking to do? You said you're gonna clean things up a little bit with Chino, but what does that mean? Like, what are the main things wrong in your camp? Do you think? Why do you guys have 7 wins? Like, what do you need to change?
Well, so obviously the 7
fuck-
wins comes
first
from the
of all, hold
whole
on,
from the
Justin.
whole year, obviously.
Go ahead, keep going.
So yeah, just talking about the last stage, like our S&D just needs to be better. If we had the same S&D we did the first 2 stages, we'd be in really good shape right now. We wouldn't be having this conversation, you know. And like we're not like the other teams that were like, we're not trying to look for a change or anything like that. We literally out of nowhere lost a player and had to do something to slot somebody in, and obviously I had to change roles for that too. And it's definitely a lot more difficult when you're not expecting it, rather than the people that have already completely chalked their team and then put someone else in,
No, I see what you're saying.
Well, just one other thing following up, Justin, sort of. I know you guys have kind of an interesting control record. It hasn't been one of your best game modes, although you guys have been really good on raid control. Are you guys trying to focus on getting better at Garrison and Checkmate to give yourself sort of a better chance in some of those game 3s?
Yeah, we're open to pretty much playing all 3 in our map pool now, which obviously before we were kind of in a spot where if we didn't play raid, we were kind of expecting to lose a map. But yeah, our controls like improved a lot in my opinion. I think we probably won our first or second Garrison control of the year, in one of our last series, and we just need our, if our S&D is a little bit better this stage, I think we're gonna do really well.
I also want to circle back on what you just expand on what you said about the Reese Vivid situation. What do you mean by lost a player? Like, from your guys' team statement, it sounded like it was a mutual parting. Was that not the case when he left the roster about a month or so ago?
So without getting into the works of my organization too much or anything, we were 100% before stage 3 expecting to play with Peter or Reese. So we were, at least player-wise, we were all expecting to go into it with him. And obviously, it came at a really bad time, and we were basically in a scenario where we had 2 days to find someone to play with before rosters had to be submitted. Which not like that's not torching or anything. It obviously just like came out of nowhere a little bit.
Yeah, he benched himself.
Well, what the heck happened? Yeah, Justin, what happened though?
I mean, he can't go. Listen.
It sounds like Zin knows if he wants to talk about it.
No, I mean, from what he just said, they were planning on playing with him, so it's not like they dropped him. So he must have didn't want to play, or something of the sort. Maybe it didn't go exactly like that, but if the team planned on playing with him, usually in most cases, if a player gets dropped from a team, it comes from the players. Coaches don't just drop players without talking to their team. That's not how it works. Like no one's ever gonna get dropped without you know what I'm saying? Like no one's ever gonna be like, hey silly, just so you know, we dropped Vivid. You're playing with Chino. That's not how it happens.
Which
So, yeah.
obviously things go down like with management and coaches that we're not involved in at all. But like I get his frustration, how he looked really good at the end of stage 2, and then obviously losing first round of Florida is just fucking unacceptable, no matter how way or like whatever way you look at it. So I definitely get his frustrations and shit, and it definitely caught us off guard a little bit. So it we kind of didn't have a lot of time to practice. Obviously a new role is not super easy to get used to in this game, because you either have an AR player or sub player. The flex role is kind of like out of the mix, so it's not like to practice.
I didn't know you guys were caught that off guard by it. I thought you guys saw it coming. I thought you guys were like kind of on the same page of it all, and you guys kind of did it just happen out of the blue? You woke up one day and you said, "Oh fuck."
I mean, pretty. We woke up one day and then we had 3 days to submit our roster, and we submit our roster.
That's crazy.
What it came down to.
That's crazy. See, I didn't even know it went down like that. I really didn't know that. But hey, man, at the end of the day, Justin, listen, you guys obviously have some work to do, right? I mean, looking at the standings, looking at, the results that you guys have been putting on the board, you guys have some work to do. At the end of the day, it's not chalked for anybody, but it's going to be difficult. And we were just saying the same thing to Donnie, right? To Temp. It's not going to be easy to go out and get results. And the only reason why I say this is because I'm just looking across the board at some of these groups. And, I mean, the competition, man, is at an all-time high.
Yeah, the Group B. So, Justin, your Group B, obviously, it's you guys, London, who looked good in the last stage and now made a change, Florida, who seemed to be rounding a corner as the last stage, Dallas, obviously, coming off a new change, and we know what we have with Toronto and New York. So, like, what's your approach with this group? Is there certain maps or modes that you think you're going to need to focus on based on the matches with these teams, or is it more of the same kind of mindset that you would have if you're playing any other opponent?
We're in a spot right now where we're pretty much down and play any control or any hard point. We're definitely kind of making our S&D map a little bit precise. I feel like our absolute strongest maps with Reese aren't our absolute strongest with Cheen, so we're just working on figuring those out. And I feel like top 3 in our pool is super attainable, and ideally, we keep Florida in losers one way or another. That would really help us out climbing the ranks.
I mean, yeah, if I'm you guys, I'd rather be in Group B.
Yeah, I mean, Group A is a little bit more top heavy in my opinion. But these are probably the most even groups we've had in my opinion, this entire year.
Yeah, I mean,
I'd agree.
I think Group A's got some more known quantities in terms of we know what we're going to get from FaZe Optic and LA Thieves, and those 3 teams plus Minnesota should be the ones that are probably going to contend for those spots. I know Don left this call, but I don't think Seattle or Paris is going to be likely to get one of those top 3 spots. And I think Group B, to me, and this is where I think, Justin, you guys have an opportunity, is, New York and Toronto should likely get 2 of the top 3 spots, but not knowing what we're going to get from Dallas, and Florida's been up and down all year, and you guys have got some big wins, and London's look good as of late. Like, it seems like every team in that group could be very competitive for that 3rd spot.
Well, London's not London anymore. London, for some reason, changed, which is very interesting. But to go back, I don't know, Justin, I just don't think you guys were slandered. Like, if I were to talk about your team, I think you guys are the most likely to break in the top 8 out of the bottom 4 teams. But it's still an uphill battle. Like, you're, what, 9th, and you're 30 points behind? So you're essentially just hoping that you outperform Florida, and Florida shits the bed, and you take the 8th place spot.
Which, I mean, groups is great, like if you get into winners and whatnot, but you guys were definitely highlighting the fact that we have 7 wins. But how many wins does Minnesota have, and they have that many more points than us off of one good event? What do they have, 8, 9?
They have 9, and they're not exempt from criticism either, because I think that they've been now in the wilderness for a couple of weeks, and they've got to figure it out. But I understand your point. I mean, there are a lot of teams with just like really surprising records. I don't know. We don't talk a lot about it on this show, but I recommend everybody goes to the standing page and look at the series wins and losses, and you'll be surprised that outside of the top couple of teams in the league, it's been pretty even in terms of people's win percentage.
Yeah, and with the format right now too, like your win-loss doesn't matter as much as opposed to your wins coming at the right time. Like, if you have an okay group and then get 3 wins in the bracket, you're jumping somebody in the standings pretty much instantly. So
the issue though is if, let's say, you go 3-2 and they go 2-3, and it's a point differential of 10. The point spread, like in the actual majors, is not conducive to making a big jump unless they get 0 points. Because the only way to get 30 points is if they finish 11th, 12th, and you get top 6, or you get 3rd or 4th. So, like, what I mean? Like, you can't make up a lot of ground in one major. That being said, though, you can try and reduce the deficit, and then it just comes down to a crazy situation in Major 5 if you can get more points than they can.
I mean, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, we'll see what happens. You guys are banking on some other results, but you guys got to put up the results as well. I mean, I feel like at this point, right, we're going in circles here. I mean, you guys are just going to have to go out there.
Just wanted to clarify a little bit. Hopefully you guys
Justin,
get some new intel.
The other thing I'm curious about, if and maybe you know this, Justin, is let's say you end up tied on points on Florida, right? I believe that they've beaten you every time that you guys have played this season. Is a tiebreaker for spots a straight head-to-head record?
I assume the first thing it would be would probably be head-to-head if I had to guess. We're 0-3 against them as well for that, so definitely doesn't help us in the long run. So we just need to make sure we do well enough that we don't have to worry about a tiebreaker.
Yeah, I'm really excited. That match against you guys and them in the group is going to be a huge one. It's a 20-pointer, but also getting that W, and then if you match up with them again, suddenly you can start to make some headway on the head-to-head. It's going to be very interesting.
Yep, and then listen, there's some other teams as well. Justin, before we move on, good luck to you, man. I want to see you succeed. I want to see Donnie succeed. I want to see everybody succeed, right? But at the same time, everybody can't in this league. At the end of the day.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I mean, we like don't if we have like criticism to say in a show, don't take it the wrong way. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we just call it how it is. So at the if you want to go and prove us wrong and prove, that would be a hell of a story to tell, and then you could come back on the show and be like, I fucking told you guys.
Yeah.
Fuck you guys.
I only want to win and come back on here and talk shit. So we'll definitely try.
And thank you for coming on. I mean, you guys are in a tough spot, and obviously you guys have a lot to work on. You guys have been working hard, and you're not afraid to come on the show and speak your mind. So I think that speaks volumes about yourself. So thank you for coming on and having a few words to say. And if you want to stay on the show, you can stay. We're just gonna move on, right? I think we have.
I'm gonna go eat, but I'll be watching your stream. So
go eat, man. Go do what you gotta do, man.
Later, boys.
Yeah, thanks
Everybody
for coming
have a
on,
nice
bro.
night. Peace out.
Later, bro. Thank you. Let's get a Willie in the chat, man. Shout out to Silly for coming on and saying some words. But hey, Zinni mentioned it a little bit about the London change. Yeah, well said. I mean,
it was a good interview.
Yeah, I love having people come on, honestly, because it's just a lot easier to talk to people one-on-one and just kind of get their opinions, because sometimes I feel like we don't know everything.
To be honest, he kind of changed my mind in the sense that I will 100% admit, if I were to choose one team that could break in the top 8, I would choose LAG, just because they're the closest. And what he said about their search does make sense, right? If they can return to that their former glory in search and start taking a lot of those maps, they become a pretty scary team. I don't see them winning, but I do think there's a world where they can make it if Florida doesn't perform. So
my only counter to that, Zin, is we have seen historically that a lot of the best teams are the only teams that when they hyper focus one game mode, they don't slide into others. And for LAG, they haven't been a good control team all year. I agree with Silly, like they were great with hardpoint across a lot of different maps in this stage and S&D slid. So they've got to get all those game modes firing as one. Otherwise, you can't be just giving people a free game 3 win if they just veto raid control. So curious to see. And as we discussed, and I guess we should pivot a little bit to groups. To me, Group B is super wide open, I think.
Well, there's
as
other
compared to Group
changes.
A.
I mean, I want to talk about London a little bit too.
We talked about the London changes in the last show.
Yeah, but Zinni had just brought it up, and Zinni, you had mentioned that you don't understand what they're doing over there. I kind of get it a little bit with this Afro kid. I kind of get it.
Afro, yes, but Alex has not touched a controller since he.
I don't know what's going on with Alex.
Went back.
And have you seen him play at all? Have you?
Not at all.
Have you?
Listen,
played...
Alex. Listen, I will say Alex
good.
is one of the top players from Europe. He was good at World War II.
He's just a question mark.
He's always been solid. My only worry is that he hasn't played a majority of the year.
He also hasn't been good in over years. And let's not be.
Christ.
No, but serious. Let's not.
He has.
Let's not sugarcoat it. He didn't play well on the tail end of the Minnesota team. He didn't play particularly good at the beginning of this year. I agree with you. The Alex of last games, he was absolutely filthy and disgusting. But we want to see him get back to that level. Otherwise, it's going to be the same story with London, where they're just kind of rotating and just waffling back and forth between on the cusp of greatness or being one of the bottom teams in the league.
Yeah, I think we're going to have to just see how he performs. We know the potential is there for the kid. I mean, I've seen that kid hit crazy ceilings. We know what he's capable of. It's just about if he's able to do that now against the competition. Now, whatever. London's obviously making a change because they think it's going to make him better. I think very highly of that Afro kid, though. I think that Afro kid can fucking play. I was watching him a little bit. I've been keeping my eye on him, and that kid looks like he's really good. So I don't mind that change at all. But let's talk about these groups a little bit. I heard you guys talking a little bit about it when Silly was in here. Ben, you had mentioned that you think Group A might be a little top heavy. I don't know if that was you or Silly.
That was me.
I agree. I think the Group A looks pretty top heavy. Personally, I think Group A looks stronger. I feel like we might see some. The only reason why I say that is because Paris and Seattle are going. It's time. It's fucking time. Those guys gotta kick up, and they gotta kick up now. And then on top of that, same with Minnesota. Same with the bottom 3 right there. Minnesota, Paris, and Seattle all gotta kick up, and then you got a top-heavy part of the group. So I just feel like it's gonna be just a battle, right?
Well, you say top-heavy. I think Thieves have been underwhelming, and I think Dallas is sort of a question mark. I do agree. I'd give the edge to Group A if I were to say which group is better, but I want to see how Dallas performs, because I do not think Thieves. I think Thieves went from a top 3 team with TJ to a top 6 team with Hook, just with that change.
Well, I think what Silly said is
personally.
very true. I think these two groups are very balanced. I feel like these are some of the most balanced groups we've seen. And Group B too is no joke. I mean, you have New York that just got top 2. You have Ultra who won the prior event right before FaZe just won this past event. Then you have a new Dallas who might be in a little bit of a honeymoon stage. You have Vivid coming in. He's going to want to turn some heads. They're going to want to turn their season around. You have Florida, who you never know what the fuck you're going to get out of these guys. These guys are either the best team in the world or they're fucking dog meat. And then you got Los Angeles Guerrillas, where Silly's coming in here and they're feeling confident. They're feeling really confident. They're ready to go. And then London. I mean, London, they're bringing up Afro. It's like a young and talented player. It's just so many changes being made. You just don't know what the fuck's going to happen.
Yeah, Group B is very chaotic with the 4 of those teams. Well, 3 of those teams, basically.
Yeah.
From what I understand. Actually, I take that back.
What?
Well, there's only 2 teams. I think I'm blasted. It's London and Dallas, right? Because Florida and LG haven't made a change. But to that point, Tom, my thing about Group A is Optic, if you look at, like, their wins and losses, it's mostly against, like, the top teams and then, like, Minnesota. And I think they had, I think they lost to Florida at some point, unless I'm blasted. But they haven't lost to, like, Paris, Seattle, London, like, LAG. Like, they don't lose to the teams that are sort of at the bottom. So, from my POV, like, I do think that Optic and FaZe are probably a lock for that top 2. The question, I agree with Zen, is about Thieves, because they haven't played well with Kyler.
Well, Zinni,
we should talk about Minnesota too, but go ahead.
Yeah, I want to talk about Minnesota. Sorry to cut you off, Ben. I didn't mean to do that. Zinni, you scrimmed him yesterday, did you not?
Thieves, I was host, so.
Oh, okay. But
I don't want to.
So you're saying you just did you?
I
saw a couple maps and
I was killing them in 2 bullets. So I don't want to put any merit in us beating Thieves in 3-1 map count and hard points on a Toronto host. It's not really. I mean, either way. I mean, like, I watched them scrim,
That's
right?
fair.
Like, I think they went from a top 3 team, and I think most of the pro teams would agree. They got worse with Hook, and I wouldn't say that's Hook's fault or anything. It's just sometimes certain players fit into a certain system in a certain way, and Thieves have not looked as good since the change.
Well, they had a system that was working, and they changed it, which is
they were also playing a lot of checkmate though, which teams were like. One thing you have to realize too is their map pool is going to move a little bit because teams are not going to be like, okay, we'll just play you guys on 2 or 3 checkmate maps a series. So they're having to extend the pool a little bit. I do agree with Zen though. Like, that is a big question mark to me. How do they make Kyler fit, and is there a clock on it? Because they also, while they do have a lot of points and they're sitting right now at 6 to 170, like, you want to try and get into the top 4 to get better seating in the major. So times of essence to kind of find your squad and lock it in. So I'm curious now, with all the players that they have in their stable with TJ and Slasher, like, they can make some rotations within their squad if they want to find the best fit of 4 players that work.
Yeah, I mean, listen, honestly, what I was thinking, so this Vivid to Dallas thing, so usually among players, we all know the changes that are going to happen, like, a good amount in advance.
Yeah.
The Vivid one was, like, the most silent thing that's happened in the
I knew that shit a week ago.
No. Until a couple days ago, it was still unknown whether. Trust me, it was at least between pros. Maybe you guys knew, maybe someone told you directly, but between all the players,
really,
2 days ago, we were all like, we assumed it was Reese, but we were like, has anybody heard, like, who are they actually going for? I saw a world where we'd see a fucking refund. Hook back to Dallas, TJ back.
No
on
shot.
There's no shot that was gonna happen.
I thought
refund. Give me a
I thought we'd see.
Can we get a
refund? Be like,
refund?
all right, we made a mistake. Let's fucking.
Can I have my $500,000 back?
We're triggering the warranty.
Can I get my let me get my $500,000 back.
back.
No, that'll never happen. But I agree with you, Zin. The question was, who are they gonna get? And I'm gonna be honest. I have a feeling they reached out to fucking Temp players. I have a feeling they were reaching out to a whole bunch of people trying to see who they can get. Because sometimes you just don't know what's out there.
I have it on good authority, Tom, that Reese 100% wasn't the only target that they talked to. That there were other teams, but a lot of those targets were unrealistic. They were just doing their due diligence on talking to those teams. Reese was the most realistic option of the ones they had.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, 100%. But bro, I think Reese is a good fit. Hey, Zinni, you mentioned that you think you're surprised TJ hasn't gotten picked up. That could also be something that 100 Thieves is looking at, right? Maybe they want to keep TJ. Why give him up? Why give him up when you had TJ in the roster? They were playing really well. Right now, it's looking a little shaky. Maybe they're thinking about bringing him back in.
I mean, yeah, maybe. I'm just saying. Here's the thing. I think if Dallas wanted TJ or a player on the bench, they would make it happen. They'd pay the price, right? I think Dallas is one of those organizations where they won last year. We all know the rep about Stroh and Dallas in general, right? In general, like, they will do what the players want within. As long as it's reasonable, right? Like, they're not going to go pay $800,000 for TJ, but they'll make it happen.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. We'll see.
I I agree, and I'm really curious for Dallas how this move works out for them. I think probably I agree with your take earlier in the show's end that this was probably the best move of the lot that they had, and now they just got to kind of run with it. Obviously, as a team, they got to play a little bit better, but the roles make a lot of sense here, and will hopefully make them better in Search, which is the one game mode I think if we had to pick one where I'm sure they're very disappointed at their performance currently across all those maps.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I reached out to Krim. I was gonna try and get him on the show. He responded back saying, "Fuck no, I'm gonna end up saying
Well,
some
he's in the
shit."
chat, so if he wants to revisit that.
He said, "Fuck no, I'm gonna end up saying some stupid shit. I don't want to come on." So let's get a what's the
Let's
best?
get an L6 in the chat.
Let's get
for
an
that.
L6. I like that, an L6. That's good. I was trying to think of one, but that's pretty good. Ben, did we talk about the All-Star shit last episode? I don't think we did.
We talked a little bit about it.
A little bit, but I'm down to talk about it a little bit more. Zinni, we got an All-Star in the call right now.
Yeah. What's going on?
What's going
I
on,
am the
Zin?
only player not currently starting in the league that made the All-Star team. It just goes to show, Zen City's strong, man. Got a big fan base. A lot of people have been peeping the streams. You see me, I'm a walking 6, 7K, 8K damage. It's hard to replicate. It truly is. But no, I mean, first off, I think the best two teams are easily our team and Nameless's team.
Yeah, we haven't talked about this. So Miles, Nameless, Study, and Chance
yeah.
came out with their All-Star teams. Go ahead, Ben. Go ahead.
Yeah, I talked to Ant like earlier in the week, and he showed me his team, and I was like, "How did like you and Chance get these two teams?" But you never know. You never know.
Good though. Every team is pretty good.
Listen,
though, bro.
you never know. Like we'll sit here and like watch H rosters gets picked, and we're like, this team's better than this team, and the other team 4-0 sweeps. So you can never know in this format.
I was just gonna say, I think
Study's
team is a fucking sleeper team. That's a good ass team, bro. Awakening on the main, have Scraps be a flex, and then Asim and Shotzi running around in your subs, bro. That team is nice.
You got some built-in pass cam with Asim and
bro.
Maddie. I like it.
That team is gonna be good. I don't know. Listen.
I got a BZ in front of me.
Listen, I went on the COD League stream today. We were doing like something with T-Mobile, like a little interview type thing, and they asked me which team, and I think I ended up saying Nameless at the time. Hook, Hydra, Simp, and Octane. But now that I'm like looking at these and like really looking at them, listen, from top to bottom, these teams are incredible. I mean, it is the All-Star game, right? So it is some of the top players in the league. So it is going to be very difficult. Zinni, how do you think you're gonna do?
Like personally?
No, like your team. How do you think? How's your team looking? Because I feel like you got a fucking stacked team as well.
I think we have the best team on paper at least, right? Like I got a BZ running in front of me, Envoy's flanking, Brandon's finding me one, and I'll find 2 or 3 easily.
So Brandon's gonna
to
find 1, and you're gonna find 3.
This is my first time putting on the jersey in months, so.
True.
Hopefully it goes well.
Very true. That is very true. I mean, this is pretty exciting. For some reason, I've never been that excited to watch All-Star games, but I'm actually really excited to watch this for some reason. So I'm just really Ben. If you had a pick, what's your top team here?
I agree. I actually kind of like Zen's team. I like Nameless's team, and my only concern with Nameless's team is their. I don't know if their chemistry fit is gonna work. It's got a lot of names, but the chemistry might be a little bit off. So I think Zen probably, if I was going to pick one of the 4, I think your team's the one that's going to win this little competition here.
Thanks, Ben.
See, I went with Nameless's team on the COD League stream.
Yeah, because you have Hydra's balls in your mouth.
What the fuck is your problem, Zinni?
I'm sorry.
What's wrong with you?
I'm sorry.
First of all, Hydra's a good fucking player.
He's very good.
No, he's not very good. He's fucking, that guy's nice.
No, he is. He's gross.
No,
sorry.
Zinni.
He's S tier. Sorry, he's very good, Tom. Very good. Better?
Get his fucking balls out your mouth, bitch. Hey, listen, I'm going with Study's team. I think Study's team's gonna win this. What do you think?
Okay.
I'm not opposed to that. Like, that's a good team. Like, it's definitely the sleeper team because Shopsy's gross, Awakening's gross. I mean, the whole team's gross. I mean, it is the All-Star game, right? Like, right here we have the top 16 players in the entire world, right? Yeah.
No, I mean, regardless, it's gonna be a crazy match. But yeah, you could say whatever. I think it's gonna be a good one. But before we
pull up the brackets too, because we talked about this on the last show.
The brackets.
The brackets for the 1v1 competition. If you go on the Call of Duty website, Zen obviously we talked about this I think on the last show, but
I was tapping Shotzi's ass first
that
round.
you're playing Shotzi. Are you like?
I've been in the lab. I've been playing gunfight all day on stream.
Have you talking to like the gunfight grinders and like getting their strats? Like, what's been your approach here?
Nah, my thing is like I'm just bringing the fire to him, right? Like he's gonna try ego chow me, so I'm gonna ego chow him first. I think I have the Krig easily. I'm gonna take him out with the Krig, right?
They had you going all the way to the finals or semifinal today.
Yeah, I like that. And then the 74U, it might be a little tougher than the Krig round. But then the sniper round, my plan is to play like a credit sponsor. Like I'm just gonna be legitimately laying down, hard aiming a hallway, and I'm just begging he walks through it. Yeah.
I mean, it's not.
It's a fair strategy.
I mean, Zinni. I mean, you're saying you're gonna pre him and he's gonna walk through it?
It's a joke. Listen, just know I'm bringing the power to him, and I'm gonna take him out quick.
Listen, you're gonna get shit on. Have a good day. Let's go on to the brackets.
We'll see.
Zinni, I'm just fucking around. Zinni, can you calm down? Fuck. You said I got high just balls in your mouth. I can't fuck with you. You gonna fuck with me? I can't fuck with you, Zin.
I'm sorry.
Come on, Zin. What's wrong with you? Let's pull up the fucking brackets, though. Let's pull up the brackets. And Zinni, I actually do know what you're saying. You could outplay him. And you're not. It's not
Listen,
like you're
anybody
not
that watches my stream, I'm an underrated talent. Everybody thinks I'm just a standstill AR, and I'm breaking that stigma day by day.
I like that.
Like I said, 6K, 7K, 8K, fucking just tune in sometime. You'll change your opinion.
Do you even still have that stigma anymore, though? Who the fuck even says that? I haven't
don't
seen that in a
know.
while.
That's a good point. Yeah, I guess I don't have the slow stigma anymore.
Zinni, if you keep talking about the stigma, you're gonna have the stigma. Stop talking about it.
No, I said it's my former stigma. What?
No, I see what you're saying, but just stop talking about the former stigma because people
never
never.
mind, I'm quick.
Exactly, you're fast as fuck.
I'm fast as fuck.
You're a fucking beast, kid. You know what I'm saying? But let's get into the bracket. We have Awakening versus Dashy, Insight versus Octane, Methodz versus Shotzi, Apathy versus Hydra, Hook versus Standy, Scraps versus Abizi, Asim versus Envoy, and Paul X versus Sid. What's the best matchup here to you, Ben?
The best matchup. I see two matchups I really want to see. Asim versus Envoy. That's an interesting one. And I actually think that Big Wig versus Bruce, Awakening versus Dashy, might be kind of a real heater of a matchup. But I want to see Zinni upset Shotzi. That would be extremely entertaining. And see Zin do a run, because then next round you're playing Apathy or Hydra, go against a French Phenom or DK, and then suddenly Zinni's in semis, and we're like, okay, this guy's cashing out. He's doing the Clayster run. So
me versus Insight. Oh Jesus Christ! Imagine those storylines.
Imagine, dude.
I would love to see you versus Insight. That'll be fucking comedy, honestly.
I would take him the fuck out.
Oh shit! You think so, Zin? You think? You think you're gonna take him out?
Oh yeah.
I like that, Zin. I like the confidence out of you. If I'm looking here, I think Awakening versus Dashy is gonna be fucking lit. For some reason, I feel like they have kind of like the same playstyle almost. Like they're very like slide cancel, like snappy, like beaming. Like I don't know, they just have like a similar playstyle to me. So I think that one's gonna be exciting. I think the Asim Envoy is gonna be fun to watch, just because I'm looking at playstyles here and just what's gonna be fun to watch. I think Apathy Hydra will be pretty cool. They're all gonna be great. But Zinni, I'm really looking forward to your match. I want to see you upset Shotzi. I think a lot of people listen.
Wait, so it's single limb, right? Like I got one shot at this.
Yeah. Well, it's a best of 3, right? Best of 3.
Yeah.
I mean, Zinni, I beat Shotzi last year. You need some tips.
Now listen, I got some tricks up my sleeve. I'll figure it out.
No. All right. I'm not even gonna say nothing because I believe in you. I think you're gonna go out. Listen, Zin, I'm rooting for you, bro.
Thank you.
I really am. I hope you do well in this, just because I want to see you just prove people wrong and just go fucking rogue. But at the same time, even if you did do well, it wouldn't surprise me. Like, you're a good player. So
honestly, listen, this would be cool to win, but I want to win that 4v4. I mean, well, to be fair, there's a big prize for this 1v1 thing. So that's obviously a good incentive, but, like, no one's actually going to watch gunfight and be like, holy shit, Zin is gross. But I think with that 4v4 All-Star game, like, I feel like that could actually be looked at as, like, something cool to watch, right? Like I feel like it's like a really high intensity 8 series.
No, I agree. I mean, before we go into the next topic and just start answering some questions, Ben, is there anything else that you want to break down on the show? Anything that we missed? Guys, sometimes with these emergency flanks, like, bro, shit happens and we just pop this shit up and kind of wing it. So I'm curious, those in the chat, if you guys have been enjoying the show, because this is just really off the dome, guys. Usually we have stuff written down or we're prepared a little bit.
Tom messaged me a whole 30 minutes before the show and says emergency plan question mark.
Yeah, I basically called Ben, and listen, I'm home, right? I'm in Jersey, I'm drinking, I'm having a good time with the family. Like I was
working, watching the PGA tournament, losing, folded all my picks, playing terrible.
So I apologize if I'm a little bit out of it in this show. I'm gonna be honest, but for the most part, I think it's been a good show so far, and I think we've been having a lot of fun.
Oh, people want us to talk about Standoff. So I know that some teams have been scrimming it. There's been some thoughts. Zen, do you know what game modes the map's going to stick in and have those votes? Do you know the status of the Standoff situation at the moment?
Listen, when I got benched, they took me out of the chats. I'm not even sure when it's coming in, what it's coming in for.
Wait, they took you out of the chat?
I mean, yeah. Why would they have me in the chat that relays all the important information?
Pretty good vibes.
I mean, I am a vibe bringer.
Diamond Cod's still in our chat. You know, we're still vibing.
Oh no! I mean, never mind. Anyways, I can see at hardpoint and search control. The map is really small, and the movement speed in this game is quicker than Black Ops 2. So it feels even smaller. I struggle to see it working in control. Hardpoint and search could be good, but even then, it plays different. It plays quicker. For example, the Red Hill is going to be unbreakable. There's pretty much it's just not going to be what it was. It looks great. Oh, dude. I mean, you spawn playground the entire time. The other team spawns on the optic van. They just have the cross the entire time.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough. I mean, we'll see. When I watch it play, a lot of the complaints are people are just saying it's too fast paced now, because with the movement system and everything, it's just it doesn't play right. Some of the spawns are a little bit off. I saw RC's tweet. Did you guys peep the RC's tweet? The RC spawns. I don't know if those of you in the chat saw it, but I can pull it up for you guys right now.
Those are pretty sticky, but they'll fix a lot of the spawn.
That's what I'm saying. It's still new. The map just dropped, so they'll probably fix some of these sticky spawns that we're seeing. But for the most part, I mean, I kind of like watching the map play. I kind of like the fast-paced Standoff gameplay that we're seeing. Now, does it play out competitively? I don't really know that much. I've talked to some pro players. Some people like it. Some people hate it. So it's one of those things, but I feel like that's what happens every time we get a new map. Every time we get a map, it's I feel like there's always people who love it, people who hate it. It's just a lot of mixed opinions, you know.
To go back to that point, I know smokes are GA'd right now, but this map, the crosses are so wide. I feel like if you had smokes, this map will play better. So I wonder if there's any discussion about, and this is ridiculous, but unGing smokes just for this map in hardpoint or something.
Yeah. Wait, nah, you can't, Ben.
I knew that's super fugazi, but I'm saying it would make the map hit better.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
I'm trying. I'm just tossing that deer out here, Tom. I'm just creating ideas.
No, I like that about you. You put out fugazi sometimes, but I like that you attempt the fugazi. You know what I'm saying? But I wanted to talk a little bit about snipers too. I mean, do you see snipers coming back? Or I see people saying they're gonna test out snipers because of flinch and everything being back. Is this a possibility or fuck no? What are some of the pros saying? I feel like I talked to a couple of pros and they said absolutely not. It's not coming back.
I've heard the same, but Zen's muted out, so I don't know if he's gonna respond to your question.
Why the fuck does Zen do this shit? He doesn't say goodbye, guys. He doesn't say.
Yeah, he doesn't announce his departure. You hate to see it.
He mutes out like we're a bunch of pieces of shit.
You got Maddie in the chat saying Keen. We know what Scraps can do with a sniper.
Yeah, we know what Maddie can do, man. Bolt Terry, aka Tank, aka Maddie, aka Scraps, is a fucking animal with the snipe, man.
Absolutely unit with the sniper, bro.
I mean, and not just Maddie. I mean, there's just so many pro players who we know what they can do with the sniper rifle. You got Dashy, you got Simp. And then listen, you got some sleepers, bro. Hey, Zinni, whose balls did I have in my mouth?
Hydra.
Right. You ever see that kid with a fucking sniper? Cause that kid can snipe too.
I haven't seen him with snipers. He grows with it? Sure he is.
I mean, I used to see that this guy was making sniper montages. You know what I'm saying? This guy looks nice. I mean, bro.
Oh wait, were you guys trying to talk to me when I was in the bathroom?
Yeah, we were.
I apologize.
Yourself. Fuck you.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
We can't get we're going to the bathroom and nothing.
You guys were talking. I didn't want to interrupt. I could have typed it.
You're right.
I could have typed it. Yeah, I could have typed it. My apologies.
It's okay, Zen. Do you see snipers coming back or no?
Doubtful. I feel like it's super. It would change S&D entirely. Like, you legitimately add an unknown variable in a search this late into the game, and I don't think a lot of the teams would like that. It would change the way nearly every single map is played. I think you would probably need to bring smokes back as well, and right now they last too long, so it would literally change the entire game, I think, to bring snipers back in. So
probably would.
My guess is no.
It's too late, right? It's just a little bit too late, I think.
Yeah.
But fuck, I would love to see some snipers in the game. I think that would just make things so exciting to watch.
Agreed.
Like Miami, imagine some sniper fights in the mid-map Miami, just like cross map, just like straight up, just 1v1 sniper battles. Like, bro, just those sniper duels in S&D was just so exciting to watch. We've seen some of the best highlights out of some of these pro players over the years with the sniper. Like, sometimes I just wish the Kali would just be like enforce it and be like, fuck your GA. Like, you guys you can use snipers. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, like, I don't think that can happen. Because nobody wants to do that. Nobody wants to toss up a GA to take out the sniper. But we'll see, man. Potentially they could come back. I don't really know. I got to talk to more pros and see what's kind of going on there. And we'll get back to you guys on another episode. But before we do end the show, let's go to the chat and let's answer some questions. I know you guys got a lot of questions. You guys have been going nuts the whole show. A lot of energy in the chat today.
Good mix in the chat today.
Yeah, we got some positivity. We got some negativity. I saw a lot of Lumas today. But it's okay, because I got a lot of Lumas last time, so I deserve some Lumas here or there. You know what I'm saying? Get a Luma spam in the chat. I deserve it, bro. I'm getting on.
Somebody's pricks in this chat, Tom.
No, I deserve it, though. I'm getting on with 2 glasses of wine deep. You know, 2 glasses of wine, which I'm a lightweight Zin. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, I've seen Zin is fucking annoying. Zinny, please shut up. It's brutal in that chat, Tom.
I don't mind it, though. I don't mind it. Like, people are going to, they're going to have their opinions on certain things, which is completely fine. 2 glasses of wine. Wait, what did somebody just say? Stick that glass of wine up your ass. Is that what he said?
Oh, whoa.
Whoa.
Oh.
Listen, no. Listen, guys. I don't drink. I'm not a drinker. I'm really not a drinker. So when I drink like a little bit of alcohol, I feel it sometimes. Not a lot. I'm not like super drunk, but I definitely feel it. I'm bouncing off the fucking walls. I have a lot of energy. But any questions in the chat before we do end the show and go in? Maybe I'll play some league play with Zinni if he does want to play with me. I don't know,
Sure.
but we'll keep the stream going and play some games. But anybody have any questions? Any questions at all? What does Rocker do if? Oh, we didn't talk about Rocker. Did we talk about Rocker? No, we did not.
Really? No, not since the official move.
Okay, so great question. Let's talk about Rocker. We have Minnesota Rocker bringing in MajorManiak for accuracy. Well, we talked about it on a prior show a little bit, but how do you think they're gonna do going into it?
From my POV, I think it probably helps him a little bit in S&D. Mike and aka MajorManiak and accuracy putting up similar numbers and they're playing together, and you're not going to lose a lot of leadership. You know, MajorManiak brings that. He brought that on the Gen G team back in Black Ops 4. He brought on the FaZe team last year, so he's gonna help a lot with that. You know, I'm curious. Minnesota's always been kind of flirting with this, like, will they, won't they take the next step as a team? And you know, hopefully with Mike they figure it out. But I think he'll bring a little bit better slang, but how much is the biggest question mark to me, Tom?
I don't know. Yeah, it depends on how much. Because when Mike was playing, it wasn't like he was dropping the craziest numbers. But at the same time, I think he's a very smart player. I think he's a very talented player. I just want to see him put it, on the scoreboard. I want to see his stats really pop off. I want to see him turn this team around. I think it was a good change for them. I want to see if it actually helps them. At the end of the day, I'm just really excited to see them play. But Zinni, do you have any thoughts before we move on to the next question?
I just think Major should have never been out of the league, right? It just goes back to what I always say is we need more spots. Like, I don't think he should have ever...
rumor has it that's not happening.
Yeah. Rumor says that there's no expansion, and I can't even begin to tell you, especially in my situation, of course, it's obviously a little different, but as a player, it is very upsetting to not have, or to be rumored to have no expansion teams coming in. It's just very, it's demoralizing. But anyways, I think Major can help them in search, right? I mean, even Lamar would say he's one of my close friends. Like, the past month, he really hasn't played very well. Granted, I have to say it, like, he was not eating or drinking any water because of Ramadan. And let me tell you something. If I couldn't drink or eat water while playing, I would without a doubt be the worst player in the lobby consistently. I need to eat and I need to drink when I'm playing, or like before I'm playing. I can't be starving. So I feel for him because I feel like
Asen was doing it too.
But everybody's different, though.
Yeah, it's very difficult. I agree with you. It's difficult.
Sorry, drink water. I apologize. Drink water. Fuck you.
You said eat water. Fuck you.
Go
guys. Fuck yourself.
Anyways, listen. I feel for Lamar. I do think Major can bring some help in search, and like, I think for them, what the way they're looking at it is they're probably not going to get worse in respawns, right? Like the move isn't going to be like, holy shit, we're getting smoked in respawns now. Like I don't think that's what it's going to be. I'm happy for Mike because, like I said, I think he's a good kid, and I think he always deserved to be playing. So we'll see.
I see somebody talking in the chat about Nato and his contract stuff and kind of what's going on there. Guys, I don't think the New York Subliners Academy is a thing. I don't think it's a thing anymore, and I'll tell you why. One of the main things about the New York Subliners Academy, bringing it in, the reason why the Subliners wanted an academy team was for a couple of reasons. One, the New York team, the starting team at the CDO, right? It was a good chance for the academy team to come in. It was extra practice for the pro team, right? If you wanted S&D practice, if you needed another team to play, you always had people to play with, right? You always had that academy team there to play with, right? But now with the 60 hertz servers coming in, the academy team doesn't have access to those servers, right? The academy team doesn't have access to the 60 hertz servers, so the pro team is not going to scream an academy team when they're playing on a different server. It's not worth it. On top of that, with maybe rumors of no expansion teams coming in, what's the goal of an academy team, right? You got an academy team. The goal is to obviously either bring up those academy players into the pro roster, which one probably won't happen right now with our pro roster because our pro roster is playing at the top of their game, or two, going off and selling those players to other teams. But at this point, it doesn't look like teams are willing to spend money to buy players. They rather just go to challengers and pick up players who are free. And with rumors of no expansion next year, there's nobody to sell them to. So at the end of the day, it comes to the point where it's like, is an academy team really worth it? And that's like the main thing that I think people should focus on, right? When you're looking at an academy team and just trying to figure out, is it worth it or not for some of these franchises to actually have one? So it ends up falling on there. And then you have people like Nato, right, and some of these other players saying they're locked up and they can't go anywhere and stuff like that. And that, how do you think it makes some of the franchise team, some of these franchise teams, they're probably sitting there like, damn, okay, are we screwing people over here? So somebody like Nato, right? You see Nato constantly took I know a lot of you guys are talking about it, right? Because Nato took AK Saints, took the Subliners Academy stuff out of his bio. He's saying that he's free and that he's free to go and this and that. Well, now he's good. He's good to go. Obviously, he's gone. I'm pretty sure the Subliners Academy might no longer be a thing. I'm not really I'm not 100% positive. But for the most part, it looks like a lot of these guys are free to go, and they're gonna try and make their way into the pro league. It's just the way the cookie crumbles. There's just a lot of problems. Now, is this the end of a Subliners Academy team? Absolutely not. I think you might see another Subliners Academy team in the future, but as of right now, does it make sense? No, it doesn't at all. So there you guys go. For a lot of you guys wanting to wanted an answer for that, there you go. Is there any other questions in the chat? The last one, we'll end on this one. Somebody said, what is the biggest snub in the All-Star game? Who should have got into the All-Star game? We all know who should have got in.
I think we all agree it's the exact same person.
Guys, who should have got in? You guys could all put it in the chat. You all know who should have got in. He won it last year. Cellium. Cellium won the fucking thing last year. And the fact that he's not in it this year kind of rubs me the wrong way. I really don't get it. I don't understand it. I think if you win it last year, you should get an automatic invite next year. Like it shouldn't even come down to fan votes. All right, the champion from last year, he's in. The rest of them will fan vote it. You know what I'm saying?
What are the players on that team should be giving up their spot for him though?
Do they not want to do that?
I mean, here's my issue. So here's the thing, and there's obviously probably a lot of league politics to deal with this, but like, do all 12 teams deserve getting at least one spot to the All-Star team?
Yes, come on. Are you out of your mind?
Yeah, they should do that.
Am I out of my mind though?
You bought you paid $25 million to enter the league, and you're gonna tell a team, hey, listen, you got no All-Stars on your shit team, so we're gonna give an extra spot to FaZe.
Well, here's
but if they have
Ben, the only argument with that, and I see a lot of people agreeing with Ben, saying no. The only argument to that is, Ben, if we do fan voting, the whole Optic team's gonna be in there. The whole FaZe team's gonna be in there. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I'll be in there.
That's why when it's done in pro sports, you have some spots are fan voted and the rest are picked. And I believe the way this
if they change up the format, it's different.
Some of these are voted by casters and people in the league. So I agree with you. It would have been nice to see Cellium get a spot here. And yeah, you can argue back and forth if players in his team should give up a spot. I mean, it's sort of putting them in a really difficult position by doing that.
Yeah.
But the fact that he should have gotten a spot to begin with.
The only thing with that, Zinni, is you said, one of the players should give it up. I heard that they were willing to give it up, and Cellium won't let it happen. I heard Cellium is just one of those kids who's like, no, like, you guys got voted in. It's not fair. Like, he refuses to play.
Listen, let me tell you one thing. If you
Right.
go to the earnings page for Simper or Beezy, they don't need the money. And to be honest, I highly doubt they're that fucking pressed on playing it, right? But, I mean, listen, he's a super nice kid. He's not going to let him give it up.
Yeah,
Whatever. I would force it. If I was on that team, I'd be like, you're fucking playing. I'm not playing. I would start an argument. Like, nope, you're playing. I'm not.
I personally agree with you, then. I would give the spot to Cellium. I think he deserves it. I think it's clear as day. But at the end of the day, what are you going to do? You know what I'm
Sell
saying?
in, Zenny out. You know what the fuck you're talking to.
What do you go? I mean, Zinni, let's be honest here. I thought when Kenny was, I thought Cell was gonna get in somehow one way. But hey, Zinni, I'm also really excited to see you play in this thing. I think you deserve a spot just because I think you've been getting, shit canned this whole year. I feel like you could have been on a team doing your thing this year. So it's a good
I
opportunity.
deserve to be on a team. It's not even up for debate.
All right,
that's not even having an ego.
Well, then there you go. I think I'm excited to watch you play. I think it's a good opportunity for you to show the fast AR gameplay out of Anthony Zinni, a.k.a. Methodz. And we'll end it right there, ladies and gentlemen. Guys, thank you so much for watching the Emergency Flank today. Like I said, I apologize if I was a little bit out of it, kind of out of the blue. But I do think this was a great episode. I love that people came on. I love that we had a lot to talk about. I appreciate all the support in the chat. The energy today in the chat, guys, phenomenal. Fucking phenomenal. I've never, like, bro, there's a lot of energy in the chat all the time, but today just felt different. I just feel like today,
good.
I just feel like today you guys are just nuts. I listen, I turned the stream on, you guys went rogue, nonstop subs, nonstop followers. Like, you guys are just coming in, supporting, and honestly, on behalf of myself and Ben, we can't thank you guys enough for all the support that you guys give us in and out every single day. It's insane. So just thank you guys so much for everything, and just want you guys to know that I fucking love you guys. I really do. So shout out to the Zoo Mafia. Shout out to everybody who's a fan of the Flank. We love you, man. We absolutely love you. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you are watching on YouTube. Make sure to follow the stream. We're gonna continue to stream. I'm gonna play some games all night.
I got one more plug, Tom.
Yep, go
we're
ahead.
There's a little bit of an all-star competition. If you check out twitter.com/theflank, a little bit of a fan vote.
Oh yeah.
All-star competition. So check that out and participate throughout the weekend.
Guys, go to the twitter.com/theflank, @theflank on Twitter. We have Gersh running the socials over there, and he has been doing a phenomenal job. He's very active. We're interacting a lot with a lot of the fans. So make sure to go check that out. And before we go, Benny boy.
Yeah, I gotta hit a putt.
Oh yeah. You gotta hit a fucking putt for me, Ben. Let's see what you got, Benny boy. Come on, ladies and gentlemen.
Let me turn on my lights. Give me 1 second.
Let's make some fucking noise for Benji and Asim. Let's get a win in the chat. We need this guy to sink a putt. You know the vibe, guys. Let's see if he can sink one for you guys before we call it a day on the show. He better wait, though. I gotta move things. I gotta move things around. Hold on, Ben. Hold on. Fuck. All right, go. Hit it. Go. Let's see what you got, Ben. Benji Nassim, he's going to step up to the green. He's going to line it up. He's going to set his feet. He's going to strike. And he chunks it. He chunks it, ladies and gentlemen. He missed the shot. He bricked it. He bricked it. That's pathetic. That's fucking pathetic. He's lining it up again. He misses it again.
Oh, my fucking God.
He misses it again. Or did he hit that? No, he hit it. He hit the second one. He hit the second one. He hit it.
Oh, I thought he missed it again.
I thought he missed it too.
It literally, the second one almost didn't go in again.
Did you miss the first one? It looked like you made it.
It burned the edge.
No way.
It literally horseshoed and rolled back down.
No fucking way, Ben. Hey, Ben, I want to say it's always a pleasure for you to come
Always
on
a pleasure.
and sink a fucking putt for these guys. It doesn't matter how many viewers are in here. You step up to the fucking plate and you do what you gotta do.
I gotta get better. I gotta get better at putting, but I bought a new putter. I hate this like old school putter. I got a mallet putter, which I'm excited because whenever I use my friend's mallet putter, like when we actually play, it's way easier to use. I like that like style a lot better. So
100%, man. You're gonna get that new putter, and you're never gonna miss another fucking putt.
I gotta wait 6 weeks for it, but you know, it'll come when it comes.
Is that for the cat? Is that what I gave you?
Yeah, because
that my gift to you? That's great, man. I'm happy,
apparently,
bro.
there's a steel and rubber shortage. and also obviously shipping problems if anyone's ever ordered anything.
True.
So it's gonna take another month and a half.
look
for me
at
to get my
the
gloves.
chat. They're all saying excuses. Hey,
That's what it is.
at the end of the day, Ben has sunk a lot of putts for us. He
Yep.
ended up falling short
Not
today.
gonna make them all.
But what are you gonna do? But I am happy that you finally got those putts, because it was a gift. So I'm excited to see them, and I'm excited to see you put them to work. You know what I'm saying, Ben? So let's get a win in the chat, guys. Make sure to check out anchor.fm/theflank to check out all the audio sites that we're on. Like, comment, subscribe on YouTube. Go follow the Flank on Twitter. Zinni, any last words?
He sinks putts and he sinks his nuts.
And ladies and gentlemen, we'll catch you in the next one.